that you've given. And just to clarify that political education is all the work that we are doing, even in the consciousness, the people's assemblies, uh, uh, putting together the issues that are the political issues and the socioeconomic factors and the integrity of our leaders. And of course, it brings all people to the table with a political consciousness because we need that consciousness for us to be able uh, to consolidate our power as the people's power. Thank you very much, Prof, for
Comrade
that.
Seifu, sorry to interrupt, but I would love to just help us guide the conversation because I don't want it to. We should not necessarily drag the space too long. Let's give rounds to the speakers who are still on the panel who have not yet spoken. We could start with Farah, who's been waiting for a while, and then because we are almost heading out of time, and just organize a disciplined environment around which the space is happening. Thank you, my comrade.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Can you hear me?
Omar, kindly, you have 2 minutes.
Yeah, Sefu, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Niko Kwangamia, so network is not the best. So I wanted to raise your awareness on what is happening. Like, I want you to mentally step out of the country and look at it from the outside. We have a failing immigration system to the extent whereby we have Burundians and Congolese and Tanzanians as barbers, hawkers, taking away jobs that the less educated people should be occupying. We are exporting our best and the most educated fellows. We were sending them away. We have a failing education system, meaning we are creating a generation of fools. We have a failing healthcare system, meaning unless you have comprehensive health covers, you're one sickness away from poverty. It's not it's not sio kwa bahati, it's by design, because what is next is they're trying to take control of production of food, because once they have production of the food and the education and people are not as educated as the lucky generation we currently have thanks to Kibaki and Uhuru, then they can do whatever they want, because even now we have our identities have an expiry date, so hakutakuwa na tofauti baina yako na yule mkimbizi. That is something you need to be very very aware of. That is why our IDs are not being produced na mnalazimishwa the ones that have an expiry date. The other thing, this path is one of eternal vigilance. It doesn't matter whether, yes, this government must go. That's not a negotiable, because you don't negotiate with somebody who wants to lead you at gunpoint. How can we live under a government that had snipers on the roof? There's a guy who was knocking on his mother's door, nifungulie, nifungulie, and he was shot. If he wasn't given enough time to get even into his house, what time does this government need? Honestly, if, make me understand, because it's not right. Majama, there's some things that are not transactionary, and your motherland should never be one of them, because this is all you have. People have died, and I want you, I want all the political people here to be aware that you might have the oranges in the wheelbarrow, but the blood in the soil will never let those oranges bloom. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Farah Omar Abdi. Uh, 13 reasons why Ruto must go. The first one is extrajudicial killings and mass murder of Kenyans. But we also have those of us who have been abducted. Recently, we have seen the abduction of Bob, of Aslam, of Jamil, who, of course, we are calling for them to be produced to us because we do not support and we greatly and highly condemn these abductions and
Sefu, Sefu,
arrests.
my sister, before I forget, there's a petition filed by Kenya and Shakira asking
Yes.
for positions for the youth in the IEBC, both the selection panel and the final commissioners, and a place for the people with disabilities. Kindly, let us not rest our fate in the political class. Tukimbizane na hii kitu, let's ensure we have youthful representation and people we can trust, people we vet and back. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is why it is important, even as we're doing this, for us to now maybe move away from this leaderless movement. Because if you want to take away the political class, then it means that we need to have organization. Because now, after Ruto must go, what happens? The people who are the most organized to take power and to lead this country. So that it is important for us to consolidate these. I have tried to bring in proud communists. I don't know why I'm not seeing you on the list of speakers, but I will call Fees Must Fall. SC Caris, kindly take 2 minutes. We don't have much time. I think at 10 p.m. we should be closing. So be as brief as possible for us to have a lot of speakers say something and then closing remarks.
Thank you very much. I just want to highlight what's going on in the education sector. That's my number one reason for why Ruto must go. He has attacked our education system from literally from the day that a child is born in Kenya today to the point where they get to university. There's an attack on every single level. Number one, Linda Mama, we all know, was dropped. So when a child is born, the protections that were there for the mother and the newborn baby are gone today, which means our child mortality rate is going to be high. So if a child survives and gets into primary school, the school feeding program, 4.9 billion, was also dropped, and that happened this year in the 5th month of the year. The Kenyan Treasury scrapped the 4.9 billion allocation for the school feeding program. That's in primary school. In high school, we know what's happening to the JSS teachers. Again, in high school, the Edu Afia, which was a comprehensive health cover for high school students, that was also scrapped. There is nothing that this administration is not attacking when it comes to education. And then we know what's going on with the university fee hikes. And now today we've heard that the University of Nairobi student leader has been abducted. Every single level of our education system is under attack. And this is why Ruto must go, and we must take this issue very, very seriously, because if he succeeds in dumbing down our populace, he will have a populace that he can control, and he'll have a populace that he can dictate to. So let us fight for the restoration of all these programs in our education system, because an educated populace will ensure that this man goes, and his remnants as well. Because I know he is planning for the future. He's planning for his sons and the friends and his relatives to take over power in another 50, 100 years. Let us also plan for another 50, 100 years of our education of the strengthening of our education sector, because that will ensure that his plans fail. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for speaking.